my precious little dragons. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today is day one of my moving vlog. So for those of you who don't know, I am currently moving from the lower 48 up to Alaska for my PhD program. And so I am doing the treacherous drive up all the way through Canada in the middle of a pandemic. It's gonna be fun. But I am going to be listening to a lot of audiobooks, and that part is going to be awesome. So I have just gotten into my first hotel for the night, and I'm going to update you on the books that I have read and enjoyed today. So the first book that I listened to was Death in the Library by Agatha Christie. So this is my first Miss Marple mystery that I have read, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun. It wasn't too long. It was just your straightforward murder mystery, and by straightforward I mean there was lots of twists and turns because duh, it's a murder mystery. But I find Miss Marple's character really interesting because she's just like this older lady that happens to be like really astute and connects everything to like her village parallels, like what is village life, and then connecting that to like how people work and understanding them. And I find that really fascinating, and just how everyone like respects just this like older lady who just helps solve crimes, and it's really cool. And I liked the progression of the plot, and the twist at the end like made a lot of sense. I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. It was just a really nice, good story overall. I was pretty darn happy with it. The next book that we started, and we're 8 or 9 chapters in. Wait, hold on. I don't know what it's called. Hold on. I'll remember it. Oh my goodness. Well, it's called Rosie's Traveling Tea Shop, but I don't remember who the author is, so one second while I look it up. Okay, so the book is called Rosie's Traveling Tea Shop by Rebecca Raisin. We are about 8-9 chapters in, but we've gotten a good couple hours of listening because they're long chapters, but honestly it is really charming. It's about a lady named Rosie. She's in her 30s. She's a sous chef at a Michelin-starred restaurant. She's going through a divorce after her husband cheats on her, and she basically just decides that she's going to go into the van life kind of on a whim, but kind of not. Just is like, I'm just gonna go travel. I'm gonna set up my own traveling tea shop and everything like that. So it's pretty cool. Because I'm all wet. It's cold in here. I'm filming my first reading vlog, or my my moving vlog. So mother, say hello to the channel.
Hello, channel.
So I was just talking about Rosie's Traveling Tea Shop and how I think it's very charming. Would you concur?
I would concur.
Okay, so mother concurs that Rosie's Traveling Tea Shop is charming. We have both laughed out loud multiple times because she's just kind of an awkward, funny human being. And I like her friendship with Aria so far, who is also living the van life, and she owns a traveling bookshop, and books and tea are a match made in heaven, as quoted by Aria. So not too far in, but I like it so far. So that's all for today. Bye! Made it into Canada, yay! So I am extremely tired. It's not even that late in the day, but we also haven't eaten much today because we kind of just drove straight through, and we're self-isolating in the hotel, which is what it is. We finished Rosie's Traveling Tea Shop, which, oh my goodness, was so cute. I have to do a book look on this because I am just like, it was like, I didn't know for sure when I went in like it was a romance book, but it ended up just kind of being about like finding your way and friendship with some romance in there. And it kind of had a subverted love triangle, which I enjoyed because I hate love triangles. So I was glad that it subverted it because I was not excited to have to deal with a love triangle in a book. But it was very cute. I really enjoyed it. I think I rated it 5 stars because I was just thoroughly enjoying it the whole time, and like I could tell it was well written because every time my mom and I would go, what about this? The author would be like, this. Like, oh, what was it? There was a moment where one of the characters walked in, Aria, which she was so much fun. Aria walked in and she was basically like, oh, what about X other person in love triangle? We're like, she wouldn't do that. And then afterwards Rosie's like, why would you do that? And she was like, to make him jealous. And we're like, okay. Like we called stuff and it was just like, it Like, it made sense. It was very, very well written, so cute, happy ending, and it was just very charming. So again, I will definitely have to do a book look on that at some point. It's so hard to remember to look at the camera down here because I'm so used to like looking up. It's weird. So now we are listening to The Deep by River Solomon, which I am enjoying a lot more than Mom. She says that she just feels like the writing just isn't really connecting with her, and I can see why, because like it's a very unique descriptiveness and almost kind of, it's very foreign almost, because you're coming from the perspective of the, what, oh my goodness, what are their names? What, Wajire? What, Wajire? Wajire? Hold on, I have to look. Wajenru. But it's all from their perspective, and so because they're mermaids and they're from the deep, they have this deep alienness, foreign feeling about them, and just the way they describe things is very interesting. So I really am enjoying it so far, and the concept and the lore is extremely fascinating, obviously, because it's about basically these mermaids that were descended from pregnant African women who were thrown off slave ships, and they drowned, and then as they drowned, like the babies inside of them turned into the Wajenru, who were mermaids basically, and so they have this terrible history, and the historian is, say hi, Mom. Hello. So basically the historian keeps all of the history, so like all of the trauma, like all of the collective trauma of their history, so that the rest of the Wajenru don't have to remember. And it mainly follows Yetu, who is kind of broken by all of the memories and doesn't really want to hold them, so she runs away. And it's a short story, so I think we only have about an hour left of it out of the like basically 4-hour audiobook. So far I enjoy it. As I said, Mom doesn't as much, but it's okay. Not every book connects with everyone. So after that, I don't know what book we're going on to next, but tomorrow will be another long day of traveling. So now we are waiting for food, and I can't wait because I'm hungry. My precious little dragons. Today is day 3, and I have a tiny little espresso, and Mother is making coffee, and it's like 8:30 at night, but it's decaf for her, so it's okay. It's 9:30 at night, but it's decaf, so it's okay. Anyway, so we had another long day of driving, and let's see, how many books did we listen to? Listen to a couple. We finished The Deep by River Solomon, which I still thought it was really interesting. Still didn't quite connect with Mom, but she said part of it might have been the narrator. She just felt like wasn't as engaging, which it was David Diggs, so that made me a little sad, but that's okay, I guess. And then we listened to this one. It was a short story, and it was called An Elderly Lady is Up to No Good. It was by Helen Thurston. I believe that's right. It was a weird story. It was basically about this like elderly woman who was kind of a serial killer. Yeah, it was a little weird. It wasn't super engaging, and she just like, spoiler alert, she gets away with stuff. That she's like 88, and people think she's just this sweet old lady, and then she just kills people because they inconvenience her. That was that one. And then we started The Island of Sea Women by Lisa C., but the narrator had kind of like a lulling voice, and it was starting to put Mom to sleep, which is not great when you're driving. So we switched over to The Overdue Life of Amy Byler by somebody. I will just type it here because I can't be bothered to go check at the moment. But that one was actually really fun. The narrator for that one is a lot more engaging. That one is basically about this woman named Amy Byler, as the title suggests, and her husband left 3 years ago for Hong Kong and never came back, except he did come back. Mother says jerk. And he did come back, he just like showed up randomly in the drugstore out of the day, and Amy thought about strangling him with a hula hoop, and then he's like, I want to see the kids for a week this summer. And so then I think she's gonna end up going to New York. But we didn't get too far into that one because we arrived at our destination for the night. So that one seems like it should be interesting. We may give Island of Sea Women another chance at some point, maybe when I'm driving or when Mom is less likely to fall asleep because we're on endless country roads. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I would say so far it's been a decently successful day of reading / listening to stuff and driving and seeing Canada. But not like sightseeing Canada, just driving by seeing Canada, because, you know, social distancing and stuff. That's all for now. Bye! It is now day 4? I think it's day 4. Yeah, it's day 4. Oh my goodness. When you're on the road for more than like 2 days, I feel like time just goes into a bit of a loop and you just like lose track of it a little bit. Like it's just like, I'm driving, eating, or sleeping. That's about it. But we are now officially on the Alaska Highway as of today, which is cool. Today was pretty standard. It was a little bit shorter of a drive day, so we did not get as much book reading done. We are still on The Overdue Life of Amy Byler by Kelly Harms. It's still really fun and good. I think Mom and I are both enjoying it. I think she may actually be enjoying it a little bit more than I am, but I think that's partially just because she relates so much to Amy Byler. Like I see her like nodding a lot, like, yeah, that's right. Like she connects a lot to like the jilted ex-wife. Like that's like she gets it. She's been in that place in life. And so I'm coming from like my like young 20s college student self going like, this is a good book, and Mom's like, this touches deep in my soul. But it is still quite fun. We're still very much rooting for the cute librarian romance. It hasn't materialized yet, but I have full confidence because this is like a cutesy book that it is going to come to fruition. I have almost zero doubts in my mind that there will not be cute romance by the end of this book. But so far she has just been like living her best life in her mom's Springa. She's in New York City, and basically she has summer vacation, but from like adulthood. But it is fun, and it's interesting because it almost feels like it's not quite a coming of age, but it's like if middle-aged had a coming of age that wasn't like, it's not a midlife crisis, but it's like a middle-aged coming of age novel almost, which is kind of fun because it's like different than what you see a lot from books in general. So I think that part of it is really cool. Seeing this like 40-something-year-old mother who's just trying to figure herself out and figure her life out, but in a fun, cutesy, romantic book kind of way, as opposed to like the typical like drama novel kind of way that I'm not a romance reader. So like this is, I appreciate the comedy aspect of this book. Like the characters seem very realistic and down to earth. There's lots of those kind of moments as opposed to like, oh, the drama and, you know, whatever. So, I mean, I think it's really good so far. I think we probably have another couple hours of listening left, and we haven't hit the climax yet, because at the very beginning of the book they kind of tell you what the climax is, because they intersperse each chapter with basically a journal entry written by Amy's daughter Corey, and the very first one was bookended with, I believe, the climax of the book, so you know kind of what's coming but not in what context, and so we're still kind of waiting on that. So my prediction is that this is going to have a rather late climax, and then a very fast resolution, which does tend to happen some more romancy, cutesy novel kind of books. Like, they don't really have like a long resolution, I think, that, or falling action at all. That's more in like your historical fiction sort of fantasy genre that tends to have your longer falling action and resolutions. The more cutesy novels, they're like, okay, climax, happy ending, done. That's pretty much it. So yeah, I am looking forward to seeing how it ends. Oh my goodness, I can't hold this phone with my left hand apparently. Shame on me, shame on me. Also, side note, I have been doing my makeup with my fingers because I was a dum-dum and forgot to pack brushes in my like actual carry-on, like to-go bag that I bring into the hotels. So all of my makeup brushes, while they're in the car, are buried. So I also forgot to pack concealer, so that was fun. So I'm just adding extra foundation where I need more coverage because that works. But yes, I am doing all of my makeup with my fingers, and that is a learning curve because other than, you know, patting on your shimmer shadows, I'm not used to that. Oh dear, what a life. It's not that big a deal. You get used to it, but I am pretty, like, it's faded because I forgot to put on primer today, but I mean, I think I did okay blending for having literally 0 brushes. I am not mad at it. And I have finally learned to like reapply lipstick after I'm in the car and don't need my mask anymore, because the amount of times I am annoyed with myself after I put on lipstick and then put my mask on, I'm like, I'm just getting lipstick all over the inside of my mask because I'm a dum-dum who let me in a PhD program. I can't even put a mask on. I'm kidding. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I am ready for dinner. Mother is out collecting it, and I am going to hopefully get some more video editing done tonight and maybe even some script writing and catch up on like video watching and stuff. And then tomorrow we are on for more driving. And we're about at the halfway point of our journey. So I am doing all right. Time is blurring together, and traveling in a pandemic is still weird. That's all I got for you. Cue the montage.
In this. Don't do it. Bad decision. We don't want her to get back with her ex-husband. Don't do it. Don't do it. Truly her ex, but really is her ex.
Yeah. He left for 3 years. He's her ex. Like,
he abandoned them.
Yeah. I mean,
he didn't even pay child support, jerk. And could afford to.
Yeah, he could afford to. He's a stupid VP. He could afford to. Like,
he sent bribery checks to the kids, but nothing to help support her. She had to like remortgage the house, for heaven's sake, because of his infidelities and, you know.
It's like he's been thinking. Like, he's trying to be better now, but that doesn't justify them getting back together. So if that's where this ends up, and like the really nice librarian who's like with her on every single thing, like, they need to be together. And Bucks County is not that far from New York City.
I'm invested in
It's
this.
doable.
It is doable.
Stop panicking.
I've lived there. I know this is doable.
Apparently people commute from Bucks County all the time. So Amy needs to stop panicking. It will work out. Don't break up over something stupid.
But they'll get back together. They have to. Otherwise, this book is just crap.
Mom's like, it went from 4 stars to 1 star.
Not there yet, but I'm like, I'm not feeling it.
It's just the drama.
I know.
We gotta
We're
get
invested
through
in it.
gotta get through the drama.
I know.
We're not
Which
even
is
to-
reality.
Right. We're not even to the emergency room part yet. Remember at the very beginning of the book, with Corey's first entry, she says something about she's writing from the emergency room.
I don't remember.
Oh, because it kind of says something's gonna happen that forces her, in the synopsis or whatever. It's like something happens that forces her, she may lose both or whatever. And
Forgot the pre.
yeah,
prequel.
and yeah. The very first journal entry of Corey is oh, something dramatic is going to happen. So we're not even there yet. As I said before, I am predicting ooh, I hadn't even thought of that. Ooh. You're probably right. Oh, I don't like that.
No, because that could be paralysis.
Ugh.
And she's already prelude to
the paraplegic.
Yeah.
Oh. No, okay. I don't like that. No. Bad predictions. I don't like it. Let's keep listening.
Okay, goodbye.
Fine. This is fine. It's all good.
We drive through the Rocky Mountains
In the rain.
crying inside and outside the car.
It's all good. Hello, today is day something or other, and we're in a gorgeous lake. Well, you can't actually see the lake from here, but it's there. We're staying the night at this lodge, which is very pretty. We didn't actually get a lot of reading done today because, even though I downloaded books, there was some glitch in the app we're using, which is Script, and it wasn't letting us listen to things very consistently and was only showing one of the books that I had downloaded. But we did finish The Overdue Life of Amy Byler, which I rated 4 stars. I thought it was very well written and very good. Again, I think Mom connected with it a lot. I connected with it a decent amount. It had a good, nice ending. Probably saw the crying clip earlier. I'm not going to spoil what that was about, but it did have a happy ending, so I will leave it at that. And it was very well written, so I appreciate that. We started on The Circular Staircase by Mary Roberts Reinhardt, sorry. And that one was interesting. You could definitely tell it was a very old book. It's like a murder mystery book, but just the writing style and then some racial insensitivities and stuff. You're like, oh yeah, that's an old book. Book itself was okay, but we were having trouble with it because it's a classic, so it was read by a bunch of amateur sort of people who just volunteered to read for the audiobook. So it's read by a bunch of different voice actors, but they're not professional voice actors, and you can tell in the way it's read. So it was hard to listen to at some points just because either the audio quality wasn't great or the actual reader themselves was a little bit stilted. And it's you can't really judge the book by the voice actor, but Mother is particularly sensitive to bad voice actors. It seems she just starts to fall asleep, which is not good when you're driving. And then the app was glitching and we couldn't listen to even that anymore. And so we just switched over to listening to music as we drove through the mountains, which was pretty fun anyway. So I don't know if we'll be able to listen to more books tomorrow or if the app will keep glitching, but we will see what happens. So that's all for today.